Hello. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening. Good evening. Nice. Good evening, Ajay.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Gana. Good evening.
Sir, you can start, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. So, good evening, my student. So, last class, what we have seen, will you please summarize the things? What are the things already we discussed? Anybody else? Last class, what we have seen, pa? Sexual reproduction already we discussed. What are the subheadings? Already we discussed in this part, in this chapters. Can you? So what is this?
Sir, your voice is very low, sir.
Why, ma'am?
It's not audible.
Okay, okay, okay. I will. So now you hear my voice, man. Now we can. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. So, students, my dear students, listen. This one is a typical angiosperm. Okay, this one is called as typical angiosperm. Already we discussed. This is a plant. For an example, Scapsella. This is the typical angiosperm. Just I am showing the slides only because here what happened, all the characteristics of angiosperm characters present in it. Because the taproot system here, primary root system is also present in it, and secondary root system, tertiary root system, and finally the root hairs also present in it. Okay, the upper part already very about. There is a main axis is that is otherwise called as what is that stem. Leaves also attached with the help of there is a small node is there. Okay, each one it is attached with the node, and each node there is a small bud is there, isn't it? They are all are considered getting known as shoot system. Here the flowers also is there, and also the fruits also present in it. Okay, these are the normal characteristics of angiosperms. Already we saw it, these things in any, you can see the any angiosperms, the special, these are the characteristic features. Okay, these things already you saw it. Okay. See, force of flower already we discussed these things. And male reproductive organ anther already we discussed. What are the part is there? What is meant monothecous? What is meant by dithecous? And how they attached to the anther? What is meant by the particular tissues is made up of which type of tissues? And structure of anther also already we discussed. Epidermis, endothecium, middle layer, and tapetum, isn't it? Each one it has a specific things. Okay, this is the structure already we saw it. So transverse section of the mature anther. Outermost layer already in our level. What is this? Epidermis. And endothecium is nothing but the layer. Okay, layer. Inside there is a middle layer. And innermost layer is called as, what is that? Tapetum. Okay, these are all are already we discussed, isn't it? Types of tapetums and particularly the amoeba tapetums. Okay, this is the structures already we saw it. That things also. And secretions and functions of tapetums and ibisco body. This is also otherwise called as what is that? Orbicules. Okay, it is a acellular structures. There is no shell. Okay, acellular means there is no outer layer is not completely absent in nature. That's why it is called as acellular structures. That is also called as what is that? It's mostly found in where in the sporopollenin. Okay, we will discuss what is my sporopollen. This is the structures of ibisco body present in the sporopollenins. Okay, see what is my pollen sac? Sac is nothing but the what is that? It's nothing but the pollens present in a particular bulge. Okay, that is called a sac. Already know about. How many pollen sacs are present in an anther? 4 pollen sacs are present in the anther. The pollen sacs are also known as microsporangia. Pollen sacs are also otherwise called as, what is that? Microsporangia. Inside the pollen sac, microspore are formed. That's why by mitotically or meiotically. Which one? Here, meiotically. Divisions of microspore. Otherwise called as meiotic division is also otherwise called as, anybody else? Meiotic division also otherwise called as, what is that, Pa? Any students? Meiotic divisions also called as, anybody? Reduction division, isn't it? Otherwise called as reduction divisions. Okay, so occurs in the microspore mother cells. That is also called as pollen mother cells. Okay, pollen mother cell produce pollen grains. Okay, so the things. So now last class we discussed what is my microsporogenesis. Are you discussed these things? No. The microsporogenesis, what is the meaning of microsporogenesis? Microspore synthesis is called as microsporogenesis, where it occurs inside the pollen mother cell. Which process is the meiosis? Is the process. Sexual reproductions, otherwise called as, what is that? Meiotic divisions, meiosis, meiotispores, or meiotospores, like that they may call it. Otherwise called as reduction divisions. Okay, what about these structures? The anthers appears as a outgrowth like structures. Anthers appears as a outgrowth like structure in the initial stage, which shows spherical or oval shaped structures. Already you know very well, but each and every anthers look like a oval shape or spherical shape in nature. Okay, in initial. And then after that it will be how? It is also modified or undergoes the growth that is undifferentiated and homologous meristematic cells, which is surrounded by a single cell thick outer layer. Each, which one you know? Each cell is surrounded by a, which one you know? A single cell thick outer layer. This layer is called as epidermis. Okay, the outermost layer is called as epidermis. It is made up of single cell thick outer layer. It is covered the inner part. Which one you know? That is a, what is that? Microspore. Okay, see that. So already we saw it. These are the 4 corners. Okay, this area is magnified to give a structure here. The outermost layer epidermis, endodermis, otherwise called as endothecium. Sorry, endothecium, and also innermost layer is called as middle layer. It is also 3 to 4 layer is there. It is also a, what is that? Provide the nutrition for the tapetum layer. Okay, these things already we discussed. Okay, so how many cells are located? There are 4 cells are located. How many cells are present in the where? The middle region of the things. It is also made up of vascular tissues. First of all, vascular tissues are formed in the middle region. Simultaneously, 4 cells are located. This is very, very important. In the vertical row. From this, what happened? Okay, from this, what happened? Which one is the converted into? Which one is modified into? Which one is undifferentiated into? Okay, as a microspore. Okay, you will see. At the 4 corner or become a large has variable nucleus, which dense cytoplasm. Already we discussed these things is also, isn't it? Due to this reason, they are different from the rest of the cells. Okay, these 4 cells different from the, which one rest of the cells. That's why these cells are called as archisporious cells. Because the epidermis, it's not comes under this archisporial cell. Okay, that is very, very important. Okay, how they will be grow? These archisporial cells present the 4 corner. They can divide again and again. What are the 2 types of division is takes place? One is called as periclinically or periclinically. Another one is called as, what is that? What is that meaning, Pa? anticlinically. So already know very well about that thing. This is called as a anther or primordium. This is a primitive stage. The outermost layer called as epidermis. The four corner cells also, before that there is a stage is the divisions also takes place. As a result, they move on to the corner, isn't it? Four corner. That's why it's a bulge-like structure here. Okay, they have given. After that, the parietal cells also, otherwise called as the sporogenous cells, also undergo further divisions. Okay, as a result, it may be converted into, see, this is the entire structure of the, what is that? Sporogenous stage. After that, what happened? It produced a, what is that? Pollen tetrad stage. What is the meaning of tetrad? It contains four. What is that? Four nucleus inside it. And combined together with the help of the which cells, callose. Already we discussed that things is also, isn't it? Okay. When it undergoes a maturation process. Hello. 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 Okay. That tetrad stage is called as, what is that? It is completely united together. It look like a four. Okay, that is why it's called a tetrad stage. So when it undergoes the maturation process, it produces a complete, what is that? Complete development of microspores. That is very well. After that, what happened? This is the structure of anther. The anther, the outermost layer is called as epidermis. It is a hygroscopic nature. What is the meaning of hygroscopic? It's easily water molecules. What is that? It may be eliminated. As a result, dry condition, what happened? It make it as a groove-like structure in this area, epidermis. The outermost epidermis layer is groove-like structure. As a result, it may be easily split. After the splitting of this one, what happened? The microspores, it comes out and also spread from any one of the, what is that? Vectors. Take an examples of air or insect or any other water. Okay. So there are the, what is that? Scavengers. Otherwise called as, there is a mediator between the stigma as well as the anther. We will study in the last session. Okay. We will study. Okay. So already we discussed these things. Epidermis cell is already about. These are the four cells is the here periclinical divisions. Periclinical means division takes place in this way. Okay, in cross wall formation, crossly. And then another one is called as anticlinical. Anticlinical means it may move on to the in forward manner. Okay, these are the things already discussed. These are all are essential for the making of which one? Wall of the anther. Wall of the anther. Okay. So already we saw these things also. The same structure as given here. This one is also already we saw it. Okay. The pollen sac. Already about how many cells are present in it. 1, 2, 3 things. Already. This one is very, very important. The sporogenous cells undergoes a mitotic division. It gives a microspore mother cells. The microspore mother cells, once again, it enter into the next reaction. So that means microspore mother cells undergo the meiotic division. Here the mitotic divisions, here the meiotic divisions. As a result, you will get 4 haploids, microspore or pollen grains. This is also very, very important. So many times they were asked, microspore mother cell, okay, undergoes the division. Which division means meiotic division. As a result, how many spores are produced? Okay, you have to tell which one, 4 haploid. It is a N conditions. Already haploid is nothing but the N conditions. Okay, see. And then after the formation of hibisco body, this is already we discussed. The tapetum layer degenerated. Okay, degenerated means completely destroyed, completely disappears. Okay. So all these things also already we discussed. And then hibisco bodies participate in the formation of exine. Hibisco body is also very, very essential for the formation of exine. Exine means it's nothing but the outermost layer, and innermost layer is called as intine. The anther, it has a, what is that? Sorry, pollen grains, it has a 2 layers. One is called as exine and another one is called as intine. Okay, here the episcope body is essential for the participation of the formation of the egg sign. Very, very important things. Now, the thick-walled microspores are called pollen microspore. Now, thick-walled microspore are called pollen microspore. At the initial stage, all 4 microspore are attached. This is very, very important. How many microspore already present in it? 4 microspore. During the meiotic divisions, 4 microspores are produced. Already we know. The 4 microspores are attached together with the help of the layer is called as, what is that? Callose layer. Okay, the condition is called as tetrad stage. Already you know, 4 means tetrad. United with the help of the, what is the layer, that is called as callose. Okay, some cases the tapetum is not well developed. Okay, the tapetum, some cases what happened, some of the family that is called as Neetaceae family, the completely the absence it's nothing but the not well developed in nature, that is called as tapetum. Tapetum is very, very essential for the, what is that, supplementation of nutrition for the pollen grains, isn't it? Suppose if it is absence, what will happen, how it will be disposed, how will it will be mature. Okay, that things is also lack. Okay, so here you must note it down, and sometimes they may ask the questions. Okay, now which plant, which one of the following family the tapetum is not well developed, like that they may ask. You have to tell Neetaceae. Okay, Genetaceae you don't read like that, because Neetaceae is the correct pronunciation. Okay, that is very, very important one. Okay, go to the next slide. See, already we saw these things. This is microsporogenesis. The spore cells are produced, isn't it? How it means the single cell divided into 2, and also these are the 4 cell stage. This is called a tetrad stage. And the callus is also attached together. Finally, divided into 4. What is that? Pollen grains. The pollen grains outerly. This is a well matured pollen grains. Okay. The diagram is not clear, but just note it, and I will show you the another slide. It's very clearly. Okay. So this outermost layer is called as, what is that? Exine. It's a very thick in nature. The inside there is a wall is that is also called as, what is that? Intine. But there is a 2 nucleus is that one is called as generative nucleus, another one is called as, what is that? Tube nucleus. We'll discuss, and then after that what happened when it undergoes a maturation, when it reaches the stigma, what happened, you know, it absorbs the nutritive substances present in the female reproductive, that is stigma. Okay, it is also one of the sticky substances present in it. It is easily absorbed the, what is that, pollen grain. So we will, what happened, the pollen tubes also formed. As inside what happened, that nucleus also nucleus division also takes place inside. Okay, that is nothing but the male gamete, male microspore, like that. Okay, so we'll see one by one after that one. This is already known. This is exine. This is the outermost thick wall. That is the intine. Inside there is a layer, is the tube nucleus. Tube nucleus. See here, this is a tube nucleus. This is a generative nucleus. This is collectively called as germ pores. This is called as a germ pores. Okay, they may ask the question, which nucleus is very big in germ spores? Anybody else? Whether they are tube nucleus, whether they are generative nucleus. Which is very small one, which is very largest nucleus?
Sir, the smaller one is the tube nucleus, sir. The larger one is the generative nucleus.
Very good, very good.
Because the generative nucleus is the main nucleus, sir. The tube nucleus is only for directing the pollen tube, sir.
Good, super, super, nice. Okay, the tube nucleus further it undergoes the divisions or not?
Sir, no, sir. Once that pollen tube reaches its destination, sir, it disintegrates.
What about the generative nucleus? Generative nucleus. See here, the generative nucleus also further divided into 2, isn't it? In this diagram. Yeah. This is nothing but the male gamete, otherwise called. Yeah. Go ahead.
Sir, the generative nucleus for the device, and then it gives the two male gametes, sir.
Yeah, good.
So out of that, one male gamete will go and fuse to the polar nucleus, sir, in the large central cell.
Yeah, very good.
And
Super.
one more will
Yeah,
go and
correct,
fuse to
correct.
the egg cell, sir.
Very good, correct, exactly correct. That process is called as, will you please? That process. One is
Sir,
joined
double
with the egg.
fertilization, sir. Sir, the
Very good. Double
earlier process is
fertilization.
called double fertilization.
Very
and,
good.
This thing
Very
is called
good.
triple fusion, sir.
Yeah, very good, very good, very good. It's mostly found in angiosperm, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Very good. Good. Correct. Exactly correct. Okay, good. Thank you. See. So then we'll pass on to next slide is called as types of pollen tetrads. How many tetrad means, you know, about 4 cell is there, but here they have given us types of pollen grains in different format. Okay, this is tetrahedral nature. Tetrahedral means here the 3, what is that, cells, or we are seeing this side, and one more is the opposite side. This type of structure is called as, what is that, tetrahedral nature. And second one is isobilateral. What is the meaning of isobilateral? Iso means similar. Bi means near. Lateral means near. Okay. See the structures. These two look like a similar one. For example, suppose we are seeing this one, you know, the upper one, similar to that of the lower one. Okay. Suppose if we see like this, you know, it is also similar to that of this one. Okay. You can take this two and also this two also. So likewise, this is isobilateral. Iso means same, similar. Okay. This is also a type of pollen tetrad nature. Different, they may be exist in different forms. Okay. What about here, decussate? Here see that the upper nucleus only present in it, isn't it? Decussate means there is a, what is that, opposite manner only, but in the lower there is only one nucleus is present in it. Okay, one cell is present, not nucleus. You have to tell us the pollen. Okay, see here. What about this one? T-shaped, just T here. This is, you just draw a line here. No, this is one line here, and followed by there is a T-shaped structure. And another one is called linear. They are arranged in the what is that? Just like a lion. Okay, linear manner. These are the types of pollen tetrad in nature. Excuse me. See, the special type features of microsporogenesis. Already we discussed all those things above part. Now we are going to enter the remaining portion of this portion. Okay. Excuse me. What are the special features of microsporogenesis? Excuse me. See here. In the formation of microsporogenesis of the family, mostly, which one, you know, Cyperaceae, microsporogenesis of the family, Cyperaceae, the pollen mother cells divided meiotically to form a 4 nuclei. Normally, the pollen mother cell, it contains only one nucleus is there. It will undergo the meiotically, you will get it 4 nuclei. Okay. That is the first thing. It's mostly which family, you know, Cyperaceae. Okay. However, the 3 of these degenerated. From the 4, 3 of these degenerated. Only one is present. Okay. The remaining nucleus form the only microspore. How many microspore is there? Only one microspore. Started from the 4 nucleus. What about the 3 nucleus? Completely degenerated. Okay, thus only one microspore is formed by one pollen mother cell instead of a usual 4. Already told you. Total is 4. Okay, undergo the meiotic cell divisions. From this, which one is the only one microspore is what is that? And is also converted into microspore mother cell. What about the remaining 3? Completely disappear or degenerated. Okay, this is the one category. Okay, this is comes under the getting known as Cyperaceae. Okay, this is the one things. Another one, Polyspory. It is also called as, what is it? Monospory. We can call this one is called as monospory. Yes, because only one is present, isn't it? That's why it is called as monospory. Okay, and other form is also exist, that is called as polyspory. What is by polyspory? Poly means more than one. Spory means already you know pollen. Okay, otherwise called as spore. See, if more than one pollen grains are found in the tetrad, then it is called as polyspory. Here one, here four. Example, Cuscuta. What is the meaning of Cuscuta? Where it already studied these things. Cuscuta is a one of a Cuscuta. Cuscuta viscum. Any students? Ritika, Dhanalakshmi. Any other persons? What is by Cuscuta? Are you studied anywhere? Nobody. Cuscuta is the one of the parasite, isn't it? Partially parasite is mostly found in the on the tree. Okay, it has the ability. It has a ability to produce their own food material with the presence of chlorophyll, but they do not have the what is that root. But they have the root, but the root is also merged with the submerged with the what is that coast plant inside the bark. Okay, it absorbs the water molecule from the atmosphere. It has a specialized tissue is also present in it. Okay, the spongy tissue is there. It easily absorbs the water molecule from the atmosphere, and sunlight is also already present in it. And also, they are bearing the chlorophyll molecule because it's a look like a green in colors. They can easily trap the light energy and convert it into their own food materials. Okay, it is also one of the autotrophs, but it's a partial, what is that? Parasite. Depends upon their other one. Okay. Okay, go to the next. Next one is called as compound pollens. In some plants, 4 pollen grains of the tetrad join together. Here the spelling mistake is the join together permanently. That is very, very important. There, what you discussed, 4 pollen grain present in it. That's why it is called as polyspory. But here compound pollen means in some plants, 4 pollen grains of tetrad join together permanently and are called compound pollen grains. Example, Drosera. You must note it on common pollen grain, Drosera, common pollen grain, and also another one, Typha, Trimis, and also Yellow Day. So these are the example has given for the compound pollen grains. This is also another important things. The last one and also very, very, very important. This is called as pollinia. Pollinia. Okay. All the spores in a pollen sac united. Here the pollen sac united. Here pollens are united. You know the difference between these two. 4 pollen grains are joined together. Here pollen sacs are united and form a special structure is called as pollinia. Okay. So can you hear the word in before in this word? What is by pollinia? What is by pollinium? It is very, very important for the NEET. Okay. In which family, like that they may ask the questions. Anybody else, Pa? Anybody? Okay. I will tell you next one. You know very about Asclepidaceae. Okay. We'll study that things in the, and also with the structures. We are going. I will show you. Oh, okay. Okay. Pollinia. Pollinia means the pollen sacs are united together and form a special structure is called as pollinia. The pollinia of each lobe protrudes to one side and forms a sterile hygroscopic retinaculum, otherwise called as cadicule. Okay, this is a very, very important. These 4 are okay united together and produced a protrude-like structures. In the one side is called as hygroscopic, sterile hygroscopic retinaculum. This is also very, very retinaculum, otherwise called as hygroscopic retinaculum, otherwise called as sterile hygroscopic retinaculum, present in which type, which plant, which family, like that they may ask the questions. Okay, see that? So this is the structure. Okay. It is also otherwise called as what is that? You know, the pollinia is also otherwise called as what is that? You know, just listen here, a translator apparatus. Note it down. Very, very important. Pollinia is otherwise called as translator apparatus. Okay. So see here, the translator apparatus, otherwise called as pollinia, mostly present in where in this area only. Okay. This is otherwise called as gynostegium because all the gynesium, all the pollen grains are united together form as a, what is that? Pollen sacs are united together form as a pollinia. Okay. See here, this area. Here, what happened? This is called as pollinium. Yes, sorry, pollinia, and also this is the structure of pollinia. Here, the upper part, what happened? This is the one side, and also this is also another pollinia. Both are united with the which one you know? There is a disc-like structure here. Okay, see the corpus callosum, adhesive, bilobed. This one is also a one, and this one is also another one. Both are united with the help of what is that? Adhesive nature. That is called as corpusculum. Corpusculum. Okay, this is a disc-like structure, just like two plates united together. Okay, there is a stalk in between these are the two things. This is pollinia. This is pollinia. Okay, in between there is a stalk-like structure is called as what is that? Pedicule and also retinaculi to hygroscopic in nature. This is a hygroscopic in nature. Okay, you see the united style. All the styles are united and form as a which one you know. This is the structure is called as gynostegium. They ask the question so many times. Okay, all the united styles are collectively called as what? Okay, suppose translator apparatus means what? Pollinia is also called as a translator apparatus. Okay, so this is a normal structure. Okay, mostly present in the family is called as what is that? Asclepiadaceae. Okay, when the insect, okay, when sat on the, which you know that, what is that? The gynostegium. See that leg, isn't it? This is the insect leg. This is also pollinium. This is easily attached with their legs and also transfer from the one plant to another plant. It can be easily transferred through the insect. Otherwise called as entomophilic nature. When the pollen grain transfer from one plant to another plant with the help of insect is called as what is that? Entomophilic. Okay. See the retinoculum of both pollinia is attached to the dotted dark colored gland called corpusculum. Both are united. Okay, already saw the things, which lies on stigma. It is lies on the stigma. It is easily transferred to the stigma easily. Corpusculum is bilobed and adhesive in nature. The entire structure is called as translator apparatus. Okay, entire structure means what is that? Complete structure is called as translator apparatus. Don't think about this, the partial. Okay, otherwise the upper part only. Okay, complete structure is called as what is that? Translator apparatus. This is very, very important. Note it down. Example, Calotrapus. Which family? Asclepiadaceae. The Calotrapus comes under the heading is known as Asclepiadaceae. And also Orchidaceae. What is meant by Orchidaceae? Mostly Orchidaceae is nothing but the pineapple. Comes under the string is known as Orchidaceae. That is only fruit family. Okay, and also having a which one you know? Xerophytic nature. These things we are going to study the which one you know? Plant classification. Okay, xerophytes, hydrophytes, like that we may study tropical. Okay, that things you must note it down. Corpusculum already know, bilobed nature and also adhesive. Both are united. The entire structure is called as translator apparatus. Which family? Calotrapus is a plant. Okay, we may call in Tamil Yerk. Okay, Yerkun jedin solong. Okay, okay. Calotrapus. This comes under the headings known as Asclepiadaceae. You note it down. This is very, very important. And also Orchidaceae is nothing but the fruit family, particularly pineapple comes under this heading. Okay. What is the next one? This is a structure. Pollinia, Calotrapus, translator apparatus. There is a disc. Already we discussed these things. Okay. This is a retinaculum. This structure is called as retinaculum. This is the pollinia. Okay. Pollinium. Okay. Single pollinium. Pollinia, plurals. You know the difference between these two. Okay. It's mostly present the Calotrapus. See, this is the structure, entire structures. Okay, this is called as a, what is that? Structures. Oh, okay. This is nothing but the, what is that? Corpus column. Inside what happened now? The pollinia present in it. This is called as caducle. Caducle. Okay, the caducle. The caducle, this is the pot. Okay, this is the stalk-like structure is there. No, this is called as caducle. Okay, there is a, what is a bunch of things is there. Mossulae. This is called as mossulae. Okay, the below there is a pot is there. This pot is also mentioned here. This is called as visidium. Okay, there are so many pots in this area. Okay, in the, it is one, you know, the apparatus. Which apparatus? Translator apparatus. Visidium. Visidium is the basal part of the, which one, you know, caducle. And these are the 3 points, just like a stigma, tail, ovary. When you are going to study the female reproductive organs, just like the upper paused mossulae. The mossulae consists of how many, you know? This is the, what is that? Another thing. Mossulae. These are the, what is a thread-like structure. It is a bunch of, what is that? Things. It is attached with the elastic viscid thread, just like a branch. Okay. This is the first, only one mossulae. Each mossulae contain so many pollen grains. Okay, they are all tetrad in nature. This is the entire structure of the, which you know, translator apparatus. This is the structures. Okay, this is the structure. Okay, this one is called as plant. Okay, the inside how it will be present in it. The things also mentioned here. What are the things you must know? This is the tetrad nature. This is a massulae. Okay, is the nothing but the mass of, what is that? Pollen grains united together. In which stage? Tetrad stage. Okay, that things it's also very, very, very important. Okay, so this is the color trappers. Okay, in Tamil, erk. Okay, note it down this point. Okay, this is the, see that this is the corpusculus attached together. Okay, all the pollens occur united together. Okay, see the next one. So this is the structures. Translator apparatus. The pollinia structure is the, see, this one is all what? This one is what? And this one is what? This is a disc. Okay. And also this one already in our board. This one is the part. Okay. When it inside what happened? There are so many tetrad. Pollinia is present. Pollinium is present. Pollinia is a singular. Pollinium is a, you got it. See, in Asclepidaceae, Calatrapis, and Orchidaceae, the family, all the pollen grains join together to form a pollinium. Okay, pollen grains are joined together to form as a pollinium. Pollinium of Calatrapis is called as translator apparatus. Already we discussed. More than 4 pollen grains are found in tetrad called polyspory. Already we discussed. Polyspory means more than 1 pollen grains. Here, how many pollen grains are there? 4 pollen grains are found in the tetrad called polyspory. Example, Cuscuta. Pollen grains of some plants present in air causes allergy or called as aeroallergen. What happened, you know, already we discussed it. The pollen grains, it is not always helpful. Some of the person they have the, which one, you know, allergic in nature. It can be easily penetrated into their nose, and also it is creating the irritation. Okay. That's why it is called, it's easily spread through the air because it's a microspore, you know, it can be easily spread through the air. That's why it is called as aeroallergy. It creates the allergen substances. What is meant by allergy? Anybody else? What is meant by allergy? It is also related to which one, you know? Immunology, otherwise called as immunity, isn't it? Okay, sorry. We'll see that aeroallergens, example, Xenopodium. You note it down, this one is very, very important. The aeroallergen caused by the plant is called as Xenopodium. Another one is called as Parthenia. Already told you. These are the 2 plants or causes the allergy to the human beings. Not only the human being and also animals also. Sorghum and Amaranthus. You note it down. This is also very, very important. Hay fever caused by the, which one you know? Sorghum and Amaranthus. And also another one known as Ambrosia. These are the 3 plant pollen grains causes the which one, you know, hay fever. Excuse. Okay. So go to the next one. So this is the structures. See, this is the pollinia structure. This is also one of the plant. It is not a calotropis. It is another plant. See, pollen grains of the many plant species causes severe allergies and branchial disorder. Mostly it may be allergy means it entered through the nose only. So as a result, what happened, lungs disorders, lungs, there is a branchial. Branchial is nothing but one of the part of the lungs, isn't it? Okay. It induces allergies in some people's leading to chronic respiratory disorder. In some people, what have chronic, severe respiratory disorder like asthma, bronchitis, for example, Parthenium. Parthenium is one of the plant. It is nothing but one of the seaweeds. Mostly they ask the questions. It is also one of a seaweed. Okay, seed. Okay, so another one is carrot, and carrot plant also having some pollen grain. That pollen grains also what is that? Create the respiratory disorder, induce the respiratory disorder. And another one is called as Congress grasses. Okay, these are all considered the getting. What is that? Severe allergies, where bronchial disorder, particularly chronic respiratory disorders. In India, causes pollen allergy and asthma. These are the plants, Parthenia, carrot, and Congress grass. These are all present in India. It causes the pollen allergy and asthma in human beings. Okay. Pollen grains rich in nutrients. Sometimes what happens, the pollen grains, what happens, it is used as a food, supplementation of food also. Okay. See here, the pollen grains rich in nutrients. It has become a fashion in recent years to use pollen tablets. You know a little about one of the protein rich tablets. Which one you know? Can you give you any examples? Protein rich tablet also prepared from where? The space travel is mostly used. Anybody else? Space travelers. Space travelers mostly used. Ajay, can you hear my voice?
So I'm not sure, sir.
Go ahead. Whatever it may be. What about spirulina, chlorella?
So
Okay,
that's
the
all. So
spirulina.
algae tablets, sir.
Yeah,
It is
very
an-
good.
It
It is
is an
nothing but one of the
tablet,
algae.
sir. I don't know the name. Though.
Yeah, good. I told you, no, spirulina,
Yes, sir.
chlorella. These are the two things. Is there? Okay, these are all used as what do you know? Because it contains more amount of what is that?
Protein, sir.
Protein content. Okay,
Yes,
so,
sir.
yeah, good. Okay, pollen tablets. Sometimes they were used as a pollen tablets as a food supplement. As in Western countries, people they are using which one pollen tablets. Okay, large number of pollen product in form of tablets and syrups also available in the market. And another things is also there. Okay, this is also one category. It's also induce what is that? Allergies. Sometimes they were used as tablets and syrups. And another category is that pollen consumption has been claimed to increase of performance of the athletes and also race horses. The race horses, as well as athletics people, they were used, which pollen grains for their what is that performance. It's nothing but but there are so many injection is there, steroid injection and so on. So is there, it increase the performance of the athletics. Okay, so many persons also used these things. Okay, but in this category, the pollen consumption is also used for the what is that increase the performance of the athletes as well as the race horses. Okay, this is also another points. Okay, see, these are the what is that types of pollen tetrads. Already we discussed that things is also okay. Tetrahedral and isobilateral, decussate, T-shaped, and linear. This is the things. Tetrahedral means but tetrad nature. And the another side there is a one is that like okay, that is called as tetrahedral nature. Isobilateral means microspore are arranged at the lateral side. See the lateral side I discussed. Each other as a monocotyledon, mostly found in where the isobilateral monocotyledon. Decussate. In these two microspore lie at the right angle of other microspore. See that? This is another two microspores. And T-shaped tetrad, this is called as T-shaped tetrad. So 2 microspores lie longitudinally and 2 microspores lie transversely. This is called as, what is that? Transversely. This one is called as longitudinally. Linear tetrad, all are arranged in a line. Okay, in this tetrad, all 4 pollens are arranged in the linear order only. This is the linear structures. These are the type of pollen tetrads. See, Cyperaceae family, already we discussed, only one pollen grain is formed from the pollen mother cell, that is cypress. Which one is the longest pollen grain? This is most of the cases they ask the questions. Longest pollen grain present the Justira is the plant. Justira or Justira. Okay, whatever. It is also called a piliform pollen or filamentous pollen grains because it is the longest one, you know. So, because the longest pollen, that's why the filament will be very long in nature. That's why it is called as a filament pollen grain. The pollen grain long ribbon-like structure without exine. But here, what happened? You know, exine is completely absent. Only the intine is present. Okay, this I will show you the diagram. Next, I think next slide it will come. Okay, longest pollen grains or longest pollen is Zostera. Otherwise called as piliform pollens or filamentous pollen grains. The structure look like a long ribbon-like structure. Okay, without exine. They ask the question. In fact, okay, long ribbon-like pollen grain without exine is called as what? Which family? Which one of the following family? Like that they may ask. Which one of the following example they may ask the question? Zostera. Another one, the 8 nucleated embryo sac type of pollen grain. Already we studied a 4 nucleated only or binucleated, uninucleated like that. You know, here 8 nucleated embryo sac is also present in it. Is found in the here hyacinthus. This type of pollen grain discovered by Namak. This was first introduced by or discovered by the name of the scientist called as Namak. This is also once they asked the question paper in NEET question. 8 nucleated embryo sac is called as what is the given examples of 8 nucleated embryo sac type of pollen. Hyacinthus. Okay. This was first discovered by the 8 nucleated embryo sac type of pollen grain was first discovered by the scientist Namak, and also some other alternative forms they may give. You have to correctly answer it. Namak. Viability of pollen grains depends on the temperature and also humidity. Viability, already know very little. It is also very, very important. Without viability, there is no, what is that? Pollination takes place. It can be moved on to the stigma, and also it's also produce that pollen tubes and germination, all those things already know it a lot. And also it reaches the male gamete. Okay, see that. And then some of the points he has given here. Okay, the concept of boosters. In your book, it has, okay, germination of pollen grains. Okay, germination of pollen grain means it's when it undergoes the germination process. It is also growth stage or developing stage. Require water is also very, very important. Sugar, lipids, and protein, phenols, flavonols, B, and also calcium ions. These are all very, very essential for the germination of the pollen grains. This is also asked because these are all present the stigma of the female reproductive organ. Okay, this is very, very important. 100 and 200 times is very, very important. Boron. Okay, the boron reduce the bursting of pollen tubes, increase pollen germination, and help in the translocation of the sugar. This is very, very important. Note it down 1000 times. The boron, it is also essential for the maturation of the anther. Okay, the maturation, without maturation, there is no possibility to, what is that, transfer of, what is that, pollen grain from the, so that's why reduce the bursting of pollen tubes. Pollen tubes, it cannot be easily burst when the boron is present inside. Suppose sometimes the plant lack of boron is there. So suppose the lack of boron elements, what will happen? You know, the bursting is easily possible. But in this category, boron present means what happened? It reduces bursting of pollen tubes, increase the pollen germination. Germination process also were increased so many times, 10, 100, like that. And help in the translocation of sugar. The translocation of sugar also, mostly the boron is involved, where, during after the photosynthesis process, already you know about the, after the formation of starch, how it will be transferred in the leaf part to in the, and also other parts, it can be transferred through the way of phloem, food phloem. Okay, translocated by the process. Okay, also osmosis, like that. There are so many things that conditions boron is also helping. That is also very, very important one. And then calcium, control permeability and promote vigorous growth of the pollen tips. Suppose calcium is absent, the pollen tips is, how it will be grow, vigorous growth is there. What is the use of one? It will not reach the exactly in the Excel or somewhere else. It may be wasted one. Okay. Likewise, the calcium control the permeability and promote the vigorous growth of the pollen tips. Okay. See the pollen tips. Pollen tubes secrete pectinase and hydrolytic enzyme digestion tissues of stigma and style. This is very, very important. What are the enzymes secreted by the pollen tubes? Hydrolytic enzyme. Hydrolytic means completely hydrolysis of the, what is that? Hydrolysis. Otherwise called as hydrolytic enzymes, mostly present in where? Already you studied in where, the picture plant. Picture plant means, about the leaf modified in the form of, what is that? Picture. Napandus, insectivorous plant. There also, there are so many hydrolytic enzymes secreted by the plant. Okay, just for the information, digestion tissue. That's why tissue means here the plant tissues, there animal tissue, insectivorous plant, the animal tissues. Okay, secreted by the hydrolytic enzyme. The animal tissues contain protein, completely degraded, and gives amino acids. Amino acids also further simplified into nitrogen and hydrogen, like that. They utilize the nitrogen molecules. Okay, here mono spinous or polyspinous, Malva, Althea, Cucurbitaceae, okay, Anagraceae. These are the examples of monocypnos or polycypnos. First observed by the Amic and also Protuleca. Okay, these are the, what is the name of the scientist? Which plant? Amici. And the name of the plant is called as this one. Chemotropic attraction by calcium, vitamin B, sugar, and also inositol complex. These are all what is that? Important for the pollen tips. Okay. Okay, go to the next one. In some cereals like rice and wheat, pollen grains lose viability within 30 minutes of their releases. Now, viability, each and every pollen grains, it will not grow in the long period. Okay. If some of the plant having the less viability, otherwise called as, and it can be easily lose their viability within 30 minutes. They may give an example. Cereals like rice and the wheat, their pollen grains, what is that? Loss of viability within 30 minutes. It is also examples. Okay, rice and wheat. You can take an examples. NEET questions. So many times they were asked. Which one is the less viability? Which plant? They may give the name of the plant. Rice means which one? Coryza sativa. Wheat. What is that? Triticum vulgare. Like that they may give. Okay, just note it down. These points very, very important. Okay, these are the three things. And then another one is called as a viability for a month, 6 or month or 10 months, like that. In some members of the Rosaceae, Leguminosae, and also Solanaceae. These are the plants having the pollen grain. They can be survive so many months. They can have the ability to viable in nature and for the months. This is also another example. This one is 30 minutes. Imagine half an hour only. But in this category, it may be a month. Okay, know the difference and also example. The last one, very, 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 very important. You take an example, there are 4 or 5 times they ask the questions. The pollen grains can be stored like a semen, okay, of human beings, just like a sperm. Okay, for the year by cryopreservation. Cryopreservation is nothing but only the temperature related one. Cryopreservation is the study of the temperature. Whether take an example, sun, it has a temperature, how many? 60 million thousand, like that. Okay, that one no need. Just you note it down this one. The pollen grains as well as the sperm or egg mostly preserved in the laboratory with the, which one the liquid nitrogen, that is very, very important. Liquid nitrogen at minus 196 degrees Celsius temperature. This is very, very important. Just go and check it. 3 question paper must have this question. Cryopreservation. It is less than listen here, minus 196 degrees Celsius. Okay. Which liquid? Liquid nitrogen. Okay. It gives you 196 degrees Celsius temperature. From this temperature, okay, most of the pollen grains as well as the human egg as well as the sperm also stored in the laboratory or hospital or whatever it may be. Okay. Such pollen can be used for the pollen bank similar to seed bank in crab breeding program. This is very, very important. Okay. These are the 2 things is just to note it down. Very, very, very important things. Okay. Structure of pollen grains. See the already in our lab it is a spherical structure measuring about 25 to 50 micrometer in diameter. Okay. The innermost layer is called as they are surrounded by the 2 distinct wall layers. The outermost layer is called as exine. The thick rigid and inner wall is called as intine. This layer is mainly formed by the cutin. This is also very, very important. And also resistant substance of sporopollenin. Okay. The pollen grains containing resistant substances, sporopollenin as well as the cutin. This is very, very important. The sporopollen is highly resistant organic material. It is also non-biodegradable. Already I told you, most of the temperature, natural disaster, whatever it may be, it cannot easily destroy the pollen grain because the presence of sporopollenin. The sporopollenin is made up of cutin and also resistant substances is called as sporopollenin. It is synthesized by primarily tapetum. You note it down that things. The sporopollenin secreted by the or synthesized by the primarily tapetum. It can withstand high temperature and strong acid and alkali. High temperature and low temperature, strong acid and alkali. It cannot be easily destructible. That's why the sporopollenin present in the pollen grain, it can survive many years. Okay. See. So this is a structure. Pollen grains, the outermost layer, already in our about the intine and the exine. Intine is the inner wall, exine is the outer wall. Outside there is a wall, this is called exine. It is a thick wall in nature. The intine is the linear manner. There are 2 nucleus that is called a generative nucleus, and another one is called as vegetative nucleus. Okay. So this is called as where there is a generative nucleus present in, that is called as generative cells. The vegetative nucleus present in vegetative cells, you may call. Okay. This is called as germ spore. Germ spore. This is the entire structure of the pollen grain, mature pollen grains. This is the tetrad nature, and also note it down this thing. No is number of enzymes that degrade sporopollenin so far known. Sorry. Before that, no enzymes. Okay, any enzymes, it is not easily degraded. There is no any report by the scientist degraded sporopollenin so far known. This is also a very important thing. Due to the presence of sporopollenin, fossils of pollen grains are always found in good conditions. Already know about sporopollenin. The presence of sporopollenin only the what is that? Pollen grains fossils are fossils also possible. Okay, that is the reason, because the sporopollen, suppose if it is present, it is not easily destroyed, so it can survive many years. Mostly present in coal or petrol or crude oil. When you are taking that time, the pollen grains also present in it. It will not easily destroyed because the outermost layer is called a sporopollenin, made up of which one, cutin. The presence of fossils of pollen grains can forecast the presence of natural resources like petroleum, coal, etc. in the earth. After the detached from the pollen grain from the petroleum, it can be grow as a new plant. There is a ability. Okay, so there is another one. Okay, and then the innermost layer is thin and the soft and elastic in nature. It is called as intine. Already you know very about. Innermost layer is thin nature. It is made up of pectin and cellulose or pectocellulose. This is also another question. In time, it is a thin layer made up of pectin and cellulose or pectocellulose. But a few places exon is absent or present in the form of a thin layer. These thin places are called as germ pore. Sometimes it may be present, sometimes it may be present in a thin in nature, that is called as germ pore. The intine comes out through the any one germ spores during the germination of the pollen grains in the form of pollen tube. Okay, any one of the germs, pollen grains, the nucleus is also, what is that? What is that? It is enter in the form of pollen tubes. The number of germ spores, structure, and ornamentations of exon is significant features of the taxonomy. This is also another one. The detailed study of pollen grain is called as paleontology. This is very, very, very important. So many times they were asked the questions. The detailed study of pollen grains is called as paleontology. Okay. Otherwise called as fossils. Okay. This is also another one. See here, already we saw it, these things. Concept booster, largest pollen grains, Mirabilis gelaba. Smallest pollen grains, Myocystis. Longest pollen grain, Justira. The micrometer will be 2,500 to 3,000 long thread-like structures. This is very, very important. Note it down. This is also mostly asked in the match the following questions or direct questions. Paleontology. It is the study of pollen grains. Yes, ma'am. Yes, I will finish it. I will finish it. Okay. Okay, students. Okay, these things onwards, we will see the next classes. You have to go through the lesson thoroughly. Then only it will be better. Okay. So today what we did already in our about what is my microforensic, what is the structure of anthers, what are the types of anthers, all those things already we studied the things. And pollen grains, intine and exine, what it be made up of, what is that? Already we saw it, that things also. Okay. Thank you so much for your participation. Thank you. And thank you so much. Bye. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.